Beats Wax Music 风辣音乐。
欢迎大家来到我们风来音乐频道。今天有幸请到了Ernesto， 他也是美国东北海岸非常出名的一个吉他调整的一个技师。然后他曾经是去过 MI， 就专门学吉他维修这个专业。然后他也是吉他中心，就是 Guitar Center 的整个东北地区的负责人。然后我在美国的所有吉他都是他帮我负责，他刚刚才帮我把这把 PRS 设置好。Hey, thanks for joining us, Ernesto.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. So speaking of setting up guitars, a lot of people in China wants to set up the guitar but don't know how to do them like properly. So could you tell us a few basic things that you have to do when you're setting up a guitar?
Yeah, definitely. So a couple of previous things I can give you is, one thing is with keeping strings because they're metal will oxidize and cool over time, so they can break down. And when you're playing the guitar, you get sweat and oil on your fingers. That gets on the strings. Right. A really key thing is washing your hands before you play.
Oh.
And that's really good because it gets all the oil and sweat that's on your fans, all the dead skin and all that stuff that's on your fingers.
From your lunch.
Yeah, food or anything that's on your fingers, that can go on the strings.
Right, exactly.
And when that gets on the strings, it can oxidize the strings, it can rust the strings, and then when the strings start to oxidize, they go dead and they don't sound the same. Also, wiping the strings down when you're done playing. When you're done playing, you're going to have the oil and sweat's going to deposit on the strings. Well, if you wipe it off right away, it won't have a chance to sit on there and oxidize, and so your strings will last longer. As far as changing the strings, it's not bad to take the strings off. But what could be bad is like there's a truss rod, which is an adjustable rod that runs through the neck down here. And what that does is it counteracts the tension of the strings. You have the strings and they're pulling this way, and so the truss rod is going to pull it back. Well, if you have the truss rod engaged pulling back, and you take the string tension off, it's going to pull it back even further. And so if it sat like that for a long time, that could be bad. You always want to have string tension on the guitar. If you take string tension off, then the wood can move a little bit for a long period of time. And if it's like a day or like a couple hours, it's not going to make a difference. If it's like a year that the guitar is sitting without strings on it, some people might think that that's good. I'm going to put the guitar in the storage and not put strings on it, down to the strings or whatever. Leave the strings on there.
Yeah, that's what you tell me.
Fine. Yeah, they're going to be fine. Right. It's made for regular strings, tuned regularly.
Regular pressure.
Yeah, and it's built for that tension. So that's kind of one of the things that people get scared about. When I'm working on the guitar, I'll take all the strings off because I like to clean the fretboard and oil the fretboard when I'm working on it, and also polish the frets.
Right.
So to be able to do that, I have to take all the strings off. Exactly. But I don't leave the guitar for a long period of time.
Just put the strings on as long as you're done with the cleaning process.
Right. On Floyd Rose, because it has springs and an equilibrium of tension, so if you change one string at a time on a Floyd Rose guitar, it can be easier. The pickup height that's just adjusted here. The only thing you want to keep in mind is you don't want it too high because these have magnets. The magnets can pull on the strings,
so it kills the tone.
like on this size. See, you have the jack plate. You can see in the video. I'm going to show you. So there's a plate here. There's 4 screws. So to tighten this, if this got loose, you just take those 4 screws out, pull it out, hold it on one side, so it's not going to spin, and then use either a crescent wrench or a nut driver to tighten it. And then put it back in and tighten the nuts back.
Okay.
So those are some basics. As far as one other thing too is when you're doing the string changing, this is easy because it's a locking tuning keys.
Right.
So with these, they have a little pin that clamps on the string. You just feed the string through and clamp it down and tune it up. You're good. Yeah. On tuners that don't have that, you have to wind the string around. It's good to get about 3 or 4 winds of the string around the post. And once you do that, a really key part that a lot of people forget is stretching the strings.
Oh.
So you put all the strings on, tune the guitar up, and then you take the string and you just pull on it like this. And you're kind of simulating playing the guitar. The guitar.
Yeah.
So that's why you kind of want to think about it like that. But you're over simulating it. So the strings are going to stretch this much when you're playing. You want to stretch them this much.
Right.
Stretch them a little bit more than they stretch when they're playing. That way they're used to being able to be stretched, and that's not the limitation. You stretch them all as far as they could go out.
Okay.
Stretch them is like, think about, I'm going to play the guitar, and when I play the guitar, bending and playing it, and stretch your strings as much. So just stretch them just a little bit more when you're stretching them when you're tuning it. And that'll help with keeping the guitar in tune.